Hey, how's it, man?
Thank you,
You
right?
good?
Thank you, bro.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much for coming through. Sit on the chair here.
Hey, well, man.
Good, man. How's things?
Can't complain, eh?
It's actually the first time I'm cutting your hair.
Yeah.
I can remember you sent me a picture during COVID and you're like, hey, I need a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes.
You good, but you have a good weekend?
No, it was good. It was really good.
It's just amazing how the weather just changed, eh?
Yeah.
Leading up to the weekend, it was suddenly cold.
Yes.
It's
Now is it like,
yeah, and it just
now all of a
changed.
sudden. Yeah, so you know what I wanted to know, like, for me personally, because you know we come from the township, I come from Elders, you come from Tukis.
Yeah.
You understand? What does it experience like? I mean, for me, I know Tukis, being Tukis, it's the same like as Elders.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, what was it experience like, especially as a kid?
Living in, growing up in Tukis.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get this off my chest.
Yes.
Yeah, Tukis and Elders are like 15 Ks apart or less.
Yes.
But you guys, some elders used to bully us, eh? Remember you guys used to say, we from the farm, yeah. Yeah, you guys used to regard Tukis as a farm, but nonetheless. Yeah, man. Hey, growing up in Tukis is, or in a colored township for the matter, it's such a unique experience, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Hogins. Yeah,
Yes.
for those who don't know, yeah, it's on the west end of Johannesburg.
Yes.
As per every in that era, yeah, things were hard. Eh? Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, being poor back then was normal. So yeah, we led a normal life. But looking back now, you realize that no, we were actually poverty stricken. But earlier this morning, I was checking something on social media.
Yes.
And some kids celebrated Spring Day by pouring water onto the water bucket.
Yes.
And it took me back, eh?
Yes.
That's when I realized that, it actually took me back to my childhood.
Yes.
So born and raised in Tukis, I'm one of 5 kids.
Yes.
My dad at first, had a very decent job, but something happened along the way and he lost his job. So that's when our financial situation changed completely.
Yes.
But up to then
So he lost his job and you were still young.
Yeah, I was still, I remember, I'm still a standard guy, so I was in standard 6 when he lost his job. And as a result, we had to sell our house and move to a new extension in Tukis. So things just took a turn for the worse then, from a financial perspective. But we were always a close-knit family, one of 5 kids. We had 2 more siblings that my parents adopted. But by the time we moved, we were only 5 kids in this incomplete house that we lived for the sake of just surviving.
Yes.
But I've always had a desire to do better, man. My parents were forced to go into entrepreneurship in the form of my dad got a cafe, takeaways in Tukis.
Yes.
And my mother became a caterer. So she used to bake everything you can think of. Yeah, so circumstances forced my parents into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
My dad opened a cafe where we sold bunny chows and chips, etc.
So both your parents were actually entrepreneurs back then, you understand?
Back then. So now at that point in time, Sheldon, we just thought that life is giving us a raw deal here because I'm standard 6, just reached puberty. I wanted to look good and hang out with the others, but I was forced to go work in a cafe, takeaway shop. And our takeaway shop was about, say, 100 meters from the nightclub in Tukis. And back then there was something called matinee. So matinee was a middag club in the afternoons where the kids were allowed to go into the club. So I had to literally serve my peers as I reached puberty.
Yes.
We had to work in a cafe, serving our peers that were on their way to the matinee.
Yes.
So from a psychological perspective, at that point in time, I just thought that life is unfair, man. But looking back once again, I have to say that that's where my entrepreneurial spirit came from. It was born because I noticed how my dad used to hustle and my mother, how she used to make things work because we literally hustled to survive.
Yes.
apart from that, I grew up in a very stable home. I have to give, even though we were not financially sound, my parents provided me with a very, very stable environment. Yeah, and they also born again Christians, so we found ways to survive. Yeah, most definitely, man. And yeah, those values and principles instilled by them being born again Christians, they're not complaining. Yeah, I think that's what shaped and formed myself and my siblings. I'm one of 2 kids, 2 boys, and then I've got 3 sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, so growing up in 2 kids, I used to be very good in sports, by the way. Yeah, God blessed me with looks.
That's the reason. Yeah. That's the reason.
Yeah, God blessed me with looks. With athleticism as well as a brain. Yeah, as brain. I used to be a top student as well. Yeah, so
and you know when it comes to inter-high and inter-sports and
yeah. So I used to represent our school in El Dorado Park. Remember there was the inter-school in Elders and after school.
What sport did you do?
100 and 200 meters and long jump. I used to be extremely fast, man. Even though I say myself, I used to be a very good student.
How?
As well as good athlete.
Yes.
I remember those inter-highs going to Elders.
Yes.
After inter-high, they would always fight. But
it was it was always something. It was always something.
Yeah, but from a community perspective, I must say that Tukis as a community, it's always been a close-knit family back then. Yeah, everybody knew each other. The parents were somehow related because people must understand how Tukis came about.
Yes.
People were moved from what was known as the settlements in Krugersdorp, some people from there and other people from the Okas in Rententine.
Yes.
So they were all moved to a place called Toekomsrus.
Yes.
Because of that, everybody was somehow related or friends. So the community was very safe. We used to play in the streets, etc. So growing up in Tukis, I'll never exchange for anything.
Yeah. So in terms of that, what do you think? What was the first thing that made you think about starting or basically doing business at a young age? Because I mean, both your parents were entrepreneurs, and if you think about it, you also fell into that. Yeah. What was the first thing that you were doing?
Yeah, basically because of my parents' entrepreneurial spirit and us having to work long hours in a shop, I grew, I developed that fear of poverty, and I'm just being honest with you.
Yes.
So, as a young man, as a teenager back then, and a young adult, I was told myself, I have to do everything in my power not to repeat what happened. Yes. I have to once reiterate that I had the most amazing parents. My dad, he was a champion, man. My mother, they worked long hours, but at that point in time, they did what they could.
Yes.
But I just told myself that, I want to be better because poverty scared me off.
Yes.
Now, I was, just after matric, I couldn't afford tertiary.
Okay.
So I became a security guard.
Yes.
So my first job was a security guard, man.
But not to think about it, especially where we come from. Becoming a security guard is one of the lowest that you can go. You understand? I mean, like that's like so.
That was the most humiliating experience for me, and and I'm glad you can relate to my experience because, becoming a security guard in that day and age was humiliating and was reserved for, like you say, the so-called lowest of low people.
Yes.
So now, just put yourself in my shoes that I was a top performer at school.
Yes.
I was, from a athletics perspective, I was a fast in our school. And then suddenly I had to settle for becoming a security guard for the sake of surviving.
Yes.
My friends and peers at that point in time, back then, after grade 12, you don't go tertiary, you go to work in a bank or insurance.
Yes, that's true.
Dude, so
that's true.
I was so envious of the other guys because I was strutting security outfit with a beret. And other guys were wearing suits, smelling good.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember one of my close friends back then, he rocked up with the polo ones, and I was on my way to the train station.
Did you do day shift or night shift?
Dude, I was about to say, this was on a Saturday. The guys rocked up with the nice cars to chill. Yes. I was on my way night shift on a Saturday. Wow. So it was really, from a psychological perspective, psychologically, it really impacted me. But I promised myself back then, listen here, I have to be the one that break the cycle.
Yes.
My parents done what they could. Because under circumstances, my parents still afforded my brother to go to college. He did his N6. My sister matriculated. I matriculated in Tukis. But at the same time, I have to say that
Yes.
I was also one of the first guys from Tukis who went to a back then a white school in Randfontein.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
because I
okay.
was very good at athletics.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was there for 2 years, but then I just couldn't cope. I wanted to go back home. So I matriculated in Tukis.
Yes.
But I must say that being a security guard spurred me also on to chase my dreams because
Yeah. Yeah.
I longed for what other guys were having. I'm a car guy, as you know. I love
Yeah,
cars.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I always envy the cars, the guys who are driving Polos
Yes,
and Golds,
yes,
big
yes,
wheels, but
yes.
my priorities were different.
Yes.
Whatever I got, I had to go, the salary I got, yeah, I had to go home.
How long was that experience like?
Dude, it was for almost 3 years, because I matriculated in 96. So yeah, and I started my IT career at the beginning of 1999. So what happened was I was still working as a security guard and
Yes.
I came across an article, bursary, to study computer programming.
Yes.
Yeah, so I went, I wrote the aptitude test, I failed. I went back and I wrote
Yes.
the aptitude test and I was accepted into a program to do computer programming.
Wow.
So I quit my job and there's how my IT career started and there's how my life basically changed from there to stay out.
And that's the time when you started working at EOH.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So in my lifetime I've worked for EOH, I worked for Dimension Data, I worked for HP.
Yes.
So I've worked for all the top IT companies in this country.
Yes.
But I've always had a desire to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So
Yes.
while I was working, earning a okay salary as an IT specialist, I started a car wash in Tukis.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah, I started a car wash. And I remember back then, there was an issue with fuel in this country. So fuel was very expensive.
Yes.
So I done some research and I came up with a contraption that was called water for fuel. It's something you would plug into your car to reduce the fuel usage. So I've always been this entrepreneur, man.
Yeah. Yes,
but
it's always been like part of that.
Yeah.
Trying to solve problems, trying to think about different ways.
Yeah.
But do you think based on that, you understand, do you think entrepreneurs are made out of circumstances or entrepreneurs born? Because that's always a question.
Yeah, I'm telling you, your circumstances force you into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
People must also differentiate between entrepreneurs and business people.
Yes.
A businessman is born into it. Yeah,
That's
for example, if my dad owned businesses, I'm born, I take over his businesses, it's easy. But entrepreneurs, man, it takes a special breed to become an entrepreneur, and your circumstances usually push you in their direction. Because entrepreneurship is you're looking and seeking better and more.
Yes.
And if you already have it, why would you seek for better and more? So I am a firm believer that your circumstances play a big role in you becoming an entrepreneur. And also, that's why entrepreneurs are so resilient.
Yes.
Because there's something that keeps on reminding you, whatever I do, I cannot slip back into my poverty state. I cannot slip back into a state where I'm in one case.
Yes.
So the other day I was speaking to some young guy because he told me he wants to be an entrepreneur, and I asked him, but why? He wants a beautiful car. I said, no, but that's not reason enough to be an entrepreneur. Because what happens if you have a fleet of cars? Will you still get up at 3 in the morning? Will you still be consistent? Will you still be committed?
Yes.
And he couldn't answer me. So that's why I say entrepreneurship has got different legs to it. But I think in my instance, for example, Sheldon, circumstances pushed me into it.
Plays a big role.
Yeah, because
I had no choice.
Yeah, because I also lost my parents. And, I would say at a young age, I was 22.
Yes.
Both my parents. So at that point in time, we were literally still kids in the house. And I promised myself, listen, I need to create a haven for myself, not only myself, but my siblings, or some of my siblings rather, and also my community.
Yes.
Having grown up with nothing, I love sharing, I love doing CSI.
Yes.
So over these years, I've been involved in a lot of mentorship programs, investing in other people's businesses and kiddies, school fees, etc.
Yeah.
But it's because I was raised like that. I was raised to know that, listen, you have to share.
But tell me quickly, because I think like I also go through the same process in terms of, like, the community of Tukis would put pressure on you. You understand? I don't know how does that, because coming from Yaldos, Yaldos is also community. They idolize you being the guy that made it out of a community.
Yeah.
And now when you go back to the community, how's that feeling? Yes.
No,
how's that pressure though?
Yeah,
because there has to be like some sort of,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. In my instance, at first, I felt firstly is obligated to help in the community.
Yes.
So that's why I got involved in a lot of CSI related stuff, like I say.
Yes.
Because I thought that nah, it's the right thing to do. I have to do it. It's expected of me.
Yes.
But then as I matured in business, I realized that firstly, it's good to be celebrated in your hometown wherever you go. Yeah, especially kids. Because when I go to Tukis, for example, the kids run, hey, Mr. Tim, and whatever.
Yes, yes.
So yeah,
yes, yes.
at first,
I
you
see the number plate. Just see the number plate. It's like, hey, yes.
So, but over the years, Sheldon, and unfortunately, I don't know if your experience is similar, but I've also learned that the same community and same society that promotes you and pushes you to become better.
Yes.
Once you've achieved, they're the same ones that actually indirectly start criticizing and turn on you. And if whatever you do, I don't know if you have the same experience, but whatever I do from my perspective in my community, there's always people trying reason to poke holes into it and criticize it. The good you do, they find ways to break it down. But so at this point in time, when I go to my hometown, it's a bittersweet moment for me. Of course, there are those who celebrate you, there are the kids, you get those who are genuine.
Yes.
But you cannot ignore the fact that there are so many out there in your hometown that also wish you a downfall. I don't know what it is like that, but it is like that.
Because you know, it's like one of those things, the pull him down syndrome, the PhD.
Correct,
where you get to a certain level and people are just waiting for you to fall, you understand?
Yeah, many times they're fabricating your downfall as well. They're the ones orchestrating it. Because I must tell you, the biggest losses and disappointments and criticism I've received were from people that I grew up with, for example. Strangers don't bother with you because they see from a distance, they say, that's we don't care. They take the good from it and they run with it. But it's the ones that your peers, the ones you've grown up with, they're the ones, because they know actually who you are, they know your weaknesses, they respond. But
it's always the ones that's closest to you, huh?
Dude, I'm telling you. But
that's like always one of the hardest things to swallow.
Exactly. And when you look back and you tell yourself, hey, but these people have short memory, man. Just last year I did X, Y, Z. But I told myself that I will not let the ones that's kind to me and good to myself because of that. And when I care, I still help. But I just do it now because I feel it's the right thing to do, not because I feel obligated. Because there was a time I literally felt obligated to do good for others, to invest in their dreams, etc. But
and on top of it, what's like the biggest failure that you've gone through? Like in terms of, you know what, hey, this one it hit me very hard now.
From business perspective. Dude. When I started my journey without the gyms, right? Very interesting. There was a friend of mine, a then friend of mine.
It's always a friend.
It's always. Strangers, like I say, strangers will not bother with you. They don't care about you. So this guy, I met him when I was in the IT space, and so I started my outer gym business. And at that point in time, he just jumped ship his company or his job. He wasn't doing well at this point in time. So I invited, so he needed some assistance. Now me being a friend, I said, okay, fine, come assist me in building my business. We clearly find our roles in the business. And things were going well for about 2 years, man. Until one day I realized that one of my clients called me, one of the bigger clients called me and said, listen, but Tim, what you trying to do here? We have 2 submissions for an RFQ. Same address, same everything, just different company name. So then this gentleman, he was bidding against me. After I've been so kind to him, so good to him. So at that point in time, things were so hectic at that point in time that I was forced to literally vacate our offices and start off.
So you lost that?
Dude, they couldn't award it to me. They said, no. There's collusion here. You can't. They have 2 submissions on this. So I lost a major contract, but that led to the end of our relationship as well. But because of the impact of that, I had to restart again. Like Sheldon, people wouldn't realize back then. Remember, back then I already had nice cars and bikes. I literally had to go and pawn my bike and my one car.
What?
For cash, just to start afresh because I had other contracts pending, but I needed to get new offices, new warehouse, start afresh, move the manufacturing side of things because I had to separate from this guy completely.
What?
Yeah, my car and my bike was parked at a gentleman's house in Four Ways. I used to do like sort of bridging finance, but it was informal. And you needed to give your assets as security.
Collateral to say that, yes.
So to me, I had to start afresh, reset, and it took me about another year to get running again. I'm very good with relationship building. So I owned the relationships. So I was able to get back on my feet again. But it was a major setback for me, I'm not going to lie to you. But looking back now again, I'm glad it happened then because it could have happened 5-6 years down the line. And I would not have been able to recover from there.
And I think that's also a big lesson as well.
Come I tell you, in my short life, I'm 46 years of age. I've been bankrupt, I had to liquidate, I had to restart my business on 2 occasions. But I've always had this resilience. I say I've got elasticity capabilities. I've got a way of bouncing back. But it takes a lot of hard work.
You always talk about the billionaire mindset.
Dude,
I think that's like the number one thing that people take away from is like just realizing that how powerful your mind is.
And that's what it is. To me, I lose 10 million now, but I don't lose a vision. The vision is the billion. So many times, I mean, even my wife, over these years, she would ask me, but why don't you just let it go, for example? Or she would say, hey, I now see what you're doing here. Because it used to be challenging. There were times when a normal person would have just quit and say, nah, I'm going back into the IT space, get a salary of 100 grand and live comfortably. But not me, man. We've been, there were occasions where we were really down from the business perspective. But then I would always remind myself as to why I'm in this journey in the first place. And is it billionaire mindset? If you check on my WhatsApp profile picture, you always say, it's been consistent for 5 years. Because there was a cover for the Entrepreneurship magazine.
And you know, the crazy thing is that the actual time when I met you, like I did read about you somewhere, but the actual time when I met you was the time when I was boarding a plane. And then I bumped into you and I'm like, and then you say, no, I know you. And I'm like, this I saw him somewhere.
It was related to the magazine.
It was related to the magazine. It was Entrepreneur magazine back then,
So people always ask me, why didn't you ever change your profile pic? And say, no. Because it reminds me of what I'm capable of. And it reminds me that, listen, if you were able to achieve and build something like that in a few years, your billionaire vision is still in place.
That's true. And at that time when you were busy doing that, I can remember you had your first business. Because it was your first business that you were busy building.
Correct.
Yes.
So, but at the same time, Sheldon, I must say that if I have to relive my life now, man, and based on what I've achieved so far, I think that I would have been a much better businessman if I had opportunity to get tertiary training as well. I know this is a bit off topic, but
definitely. Definitely.
What's currently happening, I cannot drop names, but at this point in time in our industry, we have these 2 major sneaker companies, right?
Yes.
And the one is doing exceptionally well and the other one not. And it depends and it points back to a simple thing, education. I'm bringing this up because
that's true.
I have a billionaire vision, but because I was forced to go become a security guard and never got any formal business training and business management training, along the way I made a lot of mistakes, man. And this could have been avoided or averted if I knew. If I got the basic business training.
How important is that? Because like many people, when they look at entrepreneurship, they classify entrepreneurship as dropouts, or guys not completing their matric, or you're not going to go do your MBA and all of these things. How important is that skill set, especially being able to have the knowledge of running a business?
What a very pertinent question, Sean. Come on, tell the way I see it.
Yes.
If you want to be, anybody can be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
But if you want to be a good entrepreneur with longevity, you need education. It's either you get the training you require, and that is tertiary training or on-the-job tertiary training, or you're going to have to appoint people with education.
Yes.
It's one. There's
one
no.
or the other. Yes.
So you have a choice. You get the training required to run your business effectively, and efficiently, and properly, or you're going to have to appoint people to do that on your behalf. Now, if you appoint people, and that happened to me, that's what I said a few minutes ago, in my short life, I had to restart my business twice.
Yes.
And there's a pitfall that I actually fell into as well. I never got official and formal business training.
Yes.
I learned on the job, and I
Yes.
done some courses along the way, but I was forced to bring in so-called experienced, educated people, especially from a financial perspective.
Yes.
And then they were the ones who messed up. Yeah, at first it went well, but they also messed up, and that's why I needed to restart my business again.
Yes.
Yeah, I suffered so many losses.
Yes.
Yeah, but and that's why I decided. I always tell people as well that you're going to be a good entrepreneur, you must always obviously have a good and niche value proposition.
Yeah.
Don't invent the wheel, just find your niche in an existing industry, for example, like you did now in the cosmetic and barber space. You find your niche, you get yourself a good mentor that's in that space or that's at least in business, and then you get your training. Yeah.
Yes.
And you need to empower yourself. You need to
Yes.
position yourself in such a way that you can run your own business, or at least interpret what your employees present to you.
Yes. Yes. You know what they say, if you're the smartest one in the room, you always your room is actually too small for you.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I must say.
With that being said, because talking about these two sneaker brands, and me and you know them both well, as black people, as colored people, whoever you classify yourself as, what is a lesson to be learned right here as a person itself? Okay, so we have the knowledge aspect, but there's another aspect besides that as well. What is that?
You say outside of business.
Yes.
Okay, between these two gentlemen or the two brands.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking, like I say, firstly, the differentiator between those two brands is education. Yeah.
It's education. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely education, because the one was fortunate to go to varsity, become a CA, get business. He worked at some of the best firms before he started his business.
So exposure to that.
Yeah, the exposure. Other gentlemen came up with a brilliant concept.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a typical entrepreneur. Brilliant concept. He managed to raise some capital and he started his brand.
Yes.
But with education, especially the type of education that first guy got, there's some sort of discipline that goes with it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and
that's true.
Yeah, and we, even though I love the first one very well. Yeah, I think we need to be a bit show more empathy towards the other guy that's battling at this point in time, because if you check his story, it's different from the first one. The guy that's battling at this point in time never got formal training, and also from a social and self-development perspective, he literally was down and out one moment. He struck luck, and then next moment he's a boardroom CEO.
Yes.
So from that perspective, I think he needs, as human beings, still needs to grow as well. He needs exposure, he needs experience, and that's why it's so easy for him also to fall in the trap of, I have to be honest here. Yeah, the celebrity status type of thing that he's pushing, versus the other one being a more reserved, composed businessman.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. The way you raise, the way you grow up, and the way, and also the opportunities life present you, it's also based on you able to handle it properly, Sheldon.
Yes.
Based on the way you were raised.
Yes. That's
Candidate one, my friend, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, he was raised in a more stable environment.
Okay.
He went to varsity. He got a good job, etc. Versus candidate two, who didn't have that. So your upbringing plays a role in how you make business decisions. There's definitely a aspect there. However, I also believe that your upbringing should not be an excuse.
Yes.
Yeah, for many things. So candidate D must simply now empower himself. You must sit back and say, listen, these are the business mistakes I made, and it's all linked to number one, education, number two, also my mindset, where it's raised down.
Yes, and there's always recovery. I mean, like, that's the main important thing, and I think that's the reason why we are here. You understand? Because there's some losses that we took, and that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how it becomes. You understand? I want to ask you. So, looking at all of these things, is like it seems like success has a blueprint.
Yes. Okay. The blueprint is. There are certain elements you have to put in place, certain steps you have to go through to be successful, but there's, after you've reached a certain point, there's discipline to go with it, right? So there's the blueprint.
Yes.
The blueprint is, once you've achieved certain things, you must be disciplined enough to safeguard it, but also be disciplined and honest. Listen, I now need to empower myself, develop myself to safeguard and grow this.
Yes, that's true.
So success, there's a blueprint.
Yes.
However, it doesn't mean that success is also cast in stone. I think we should also define success, because I've got these boys, Tristan and Titan.
Yes.
Titan just wants money.
I
just want money. He just said, I want money, lots of it. And I have to keep on reminding them, listen, being successful carries an element of money, but there's an element of self being wisdom. What satisfies him, what makes him happy, is them developing and growing as a human being. There's an element of family as well. There's an element of what you do for other people as well. So that defines success, the way I see it. But the blueprint of success is you need to be able to and willing to put in that extra. You have to be disciplined. But you must be honest and true to yourself as well, saying, listen, I need to empower and develop myself. To safeguard what I've built.
Safeguard,
Because I have to tell people, and I always tell boys as well, anybody can make money, Sheldon. It's what you do with the money, is how you safeguard it money, how you make it more, that's what matters.
Yes, that's true. That's so true. And I think the old saying goes, it's not how much you make, it's how much you are able to keep.
Exactly. Because dude, we've seen this is South Africa. Guys make money, even if it's in an unscrupulous manner. But in 2 years down the line, it's non-existent. And that guy that was always there is like my father used to tell me this important saying is like always used to say, money doesn't get old. Exactly. It doesn't.
It doesn't get old. And it's so interesting because that right there is how we should address it, you understand? And looking at what, because truth be told is, I mean, like we one of those people that are here, one of the first generation of people to actually start something, to do something, to be able to change the narrative. So it's quite tough, you understand?
Bro, I have to concur with you there. Like I said earlier, back then, in our era that we were raised, you had a few options, limited options. Go find a job at the bank, or go work in insurance, or if the parents could afford you, go to varsity or college. So we literally, the first generation that said, listen, we're going to change this narrative. And which made it so much difficult. It's so hard being an entrepreneur. And I mean, please allow me to speak frankly and openly. It's so hard being a colored entrepreneur in this country. That's a fact. Because I always tell people that I would have been a much better entrepreneur if I was a black man or a white man. That's a fact. And I trust your audience will respect what I'm saying here. As a colored, it's so difficult sitting at a table that reserves other people. I mean, there were so many opportunities where I was forced to indirectly partner with guys or jam with guys because they already decided as to where this deal is going to. And irrespective of how brilliant your value proposition is.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, man. I'm very excited about the new dispensation in this country, how things are moving. But we have to be honest here.
We have to be honest.
We the
about
first generation of
yes.
trailblazers,
Yes.
right? Trying to change the status quo.
Trying to change
But
the
we cannot deny the fact that being a colored businessman or entrepreneur is just so much more difficult.
There's only few people that you can count on your hand.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Really, there's only few people.
There's only few.
And you know what? I actually bumped into one of the guys that I personally look up to as well. I don't know if you know him, Chris Delport, the guy. Yeah. So I bumped into him over the weekend, and to see and to hear the same thing that he echoed. It's just
what I'm saying now.
It's the same thing.
It's a reality.
It's the same thing.
It's
the same thing.
Reality. I'm telling you, they say, Mandela once said that if you speak somebody's language, you speak that person's heart. But if you speak, if you speak somebody's language, you speak that person's heart.
Yes.
So now, I don't speak Vernac.
Yeah.
I don't speak Vernac. So I'm just, all these years, I just found it so difficult. And also, bear in mind is, I do outer gyms, it's in the government space, it's in parks and municipalities.
How difficult is that?
Dude.
More difficult.
Dude, it was so tough, man. And like I say, and then you're forced to partner with undeserving guys.
Yes.
But I'm telling you,
it's
resilience and persistence. But I hope that going forward, that the guys like yourself, I don't regard myself as a trailblazer or successful. I look up to you in that regard, because you're younger than me.
And the line, you on the line? You on the line?
Yeah, please.
Nah? Okay. So now off topic. Now busy talking about somebody like Tristan. That is basically your beloved son. I understand. And so just looking at the youngster out there, you understand, that would love to start up a business or do something and maybe pursue in the footsteps of Tim Hoggins. What would be that advice, that encouragement that you would share with him to say, this is actually what I wish I had learned when I was coming up, or this is maybe the nuggets that I can share with you, the words of wisdom. Is there like anything that you can just drop?
Okay, I stand by what I said earlier. You need to decide what you want to do. Yeah. Decide in which industry you want to participate. So find your niche in a specific industry, for example, right? If it's construction, see what's happening in the construction industry and how you can add value in a unique way. It's the first step.
Yes.
Many of the youngsters don't know what they want to do. They want to be entrepreneurs because they see what's happening on social media. They want to drive nice cars because they see entrepreneurs drive nice cars, but they burn out along the way because it's not what they actually want, not the real passion. So identify what you want to do. In the process, find your niche in the industry. Very important, Sheldon. If I had to restart my journey, I would do that followed by mentorship. You need to get a mentor in that space. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, especially a startup entrepreneur, you must get a mentor that can guide you through the entire process. But in that process, you must also empower yourself. While your mentor is guiding you, you empower yourself by studying, going to programs, whatever relates to your industry, and then followed by business perspective, business management, etc. And with that in place, discipline, man. Discipline is so crucial when you're in business and being an entrepreneur. I know the youngsters get carried away by what they see on social media, but without discipline, everything is short-lived. I would advise the young guys, if you want to be in business, be a disciplined businessman or entrepreneur with a mentor, and constantly upgrade your skill set, empower yourself. By doing that, it's going to be a very pleasant journey. Because entrepreneurship can also be very horrific. It could be a nightmare if you don't have the basics in place. You will look at that beautiful sports car downstairs and regret owning it. If you're not disciplined, if you don't have a mentor, and if you're not empowered and skilled. Also, they must become entrepreneurs for the right reason. I always tell people, there's nothing wrong with being a good career person. There's nothing wrong with being a good videographer or being a good doctor, a good lawyer. I know all youngsters want to be entrepreneurs because they think of the luxury and good toys that go with it, but I know doctors that very successful. I know lawyers.
Yes.
Yeah, I know guys that own media companies. It's very successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are career people. So yeah, I would like to encourage young guys. Yes, entrepreneurship is good, business is good. However, do not rob yourself of the opportunity of having a good career and having a good life as well. But it all comes with discipline, it comes with mentorship, but very importantly, identify the industry you want to play in and you keep to that. If you decide your industry, you can also diversify. And I had a discussion about your journey with my son the other day.
Yes.
I mean, you're still in the same industry, but what started off as a barber, now there's product, there's equipment, etc. that goes with it. So every industry that I know is big enough for you to diversify in.
Yes.
So it's unnecessary for you to be in mining now, then you jump to barber shop, and then you jump to X and Z. You can diversify within your area of expertise.
That's so true.
Yeah,
That's
and
so
by
true.
diversifying, you're creating multiple income streams.
That's so true.
Yeah, because you need multiple income streams, but you can achieve that in the same
You can
industry.
achieve that
Yeah.
in the same industry.
You can achieve it in the same industry.
And
Yeah.
that's so true because, you know, to your point as well, when even talking about mentorship, because many people think mentorship is like you have to pound on that person the whole time. But I think one of the major stuff that I've learned, like the time when Legends was scaling up and I was looking at who has done it before, you understand? Who are and learning from these guys, actually getting into the presence and saying, you know what, I'm going to learn as much as possible. And guess what? Sheldon bought Sobe's books and Sheldon started studying the business models. Sheldon started doing all of these things and even met up with Ian Furr and asking him questions, relevant questions, 2 years to how he founded and how he scaled the business. So that's exactly what you need to do. And we spoke about knowledge earlier, and that specific knowledge adds to that. You understand? Which is, I feel, so vital. So vital.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So it's all about mentorship, identify what you like to do, and diversifying your industry. But very important, like I have to repeat, it's so important that you upskill yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true.
And they must stay away from the glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
In life, you're either an entrepreneur or you're a celebrity.
Oh, you're a celebrity.
You must choose.
You must choose between the two. You must differentiate.
Yeah, so many of our entrepreneurs, they mix up, they confuse between entrepreneurship and celebrity.
Yeah, and it's not an easy part. It's not an easy part.
Entrepreneurship is difficult, but it's achievable. You can have a good life as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
If you have the basics in place, you remain disciplined, man.
No, thank you very much. And thanks a lot for coming to sit on this chair. I really appreciate it. I know I was supposed to catch you during COVID 2020, but now I finally get a chance to catch you, and I must say that you inspire me so much.
Man, the feeling is mutual, man.
Thank you.
I enjoy your journey, man, and like I say, whenever I speak to youngsters, I refer them to you because you and I can relate, even from the way we were raised in the communities we grew up. So there's ways for us to relate. So thanks for the example, man. Thanks for the inspiration, and thanks for showing the youngsters that it's possible, man.
Thank you very much, though.